time it's different. Anything else but a victory here would be a disappointment, and they show exactly that. In good old Dignitas fashion, a little bit of a slow warm-up in game number one, but the second one looked very, very convincing.
I was speaking to Lynx just a couple of seconds ago before they headed back on stage, and in his words, I'm going to be careful about saying this, but I'll say it anyway. In his words, Santa Claus not real.
Okay, let's go to game.
For coming back in.
Number 4 here for the Battleground, as it has been chosen. If Dignitas can get more win, they will close this out. And apparently the Leftovers will be looking to draft Santa Claus. Thank you, Ted. Dignitas will pick up Cursed Hollow. Leftovers will have the first pick.
Drafting Santa Claus, Stitch is confirmed.
Oh, there we go. Good point there. Nice little crossover happening here. Cursed Hollow, one of these Battlegrounds. You need to be careful about boss control, tribute control. We have been seeing this Battleground, although it is large, ending early if you are unable to have a solid early game.
I mean, statistically, Leftovers is better on this Battleground than Dignitas. Dignitas has a 1-1, and Leftovers has a 2-1 there, so game's over already.
The numbers don't lie.
Let's go next.
Well, Cursed Hollow, characters get to worry about. Hanzo could be one. We could have Tyrael come out again from Mopsio.
Any globals as well? We're talking about the Abathurs, of course. That Dahaka, once again, could be coming back in. Anyone who can split Soak before the tribute is active.
And that also would allow, I mean, we're talking about Abathur, for example, and that would normally result in a ban too. And with a higher priority that some heroes will now have on this Battleground, it would allow some of the ones that we've seen banned out back in. And that could, for example, be Maiev. And we have seen a lot of these aggressive Maiev compositions. So a question is, will either Dignitas or Leftovers leave the hero open? And let's not forget that Urel was also a big factor here once again. So there could be a play on the side of the Leftovers to ban her out or pick her away from Obi.
Into the draft we go. Any heroes? I'm trying to think, because Leftovers been a little cheeky today. We've gotten the Cho'Gall, we've gotten the Gazo. If they weren't pointing out crazy on this Battleground, maybe a Valera.
Zard, Probius,
Samuro.
Samuro would be one that I could see split pushing, really trying to put pressure on the back line. Maybe pull Dignitas around here and there. Could be a solid pickup.
Indeed, consistently banned out by Leftovers. No surprise there. Dignitas play it, they don't.
I mean, the ban so far is what you would expect. Abathur sneaks his way in. That's just because the map is so strong. With him, Diablo's banned out again, especially after the first game that the two played. They just decided that they want to ban out Mopsio here. But now this is going to be one of the more important choices. What is the next ban for Dignitas? What do they allow Leftovers? Maiev has been banned so far the entire time, and they actually stick with it. They don't let her through. They don't want to risk giving Maiev over to the Leftovers.
You consider picking up Urel here and giving over to Dignitas. If you do that, they will move into Dahaka, especially on this Battleground.
That's the one concern. You know that there's Urel around, and she is extremely powerful, but you also know what the immediate reaction on the side of Dignitas would most likely be, getting that global and playing around Dahaka, where Whoopi has been landing tongs all day in pretty fantastic fashion. He's just insane on these skill shots.
So they decided to pick up Muradin instead and say, all right, you decide what top laner you might want to grab here. We'll adjust as we need to. We have a 2 and 3rd slot we can move into. Dignitas on the left. Is there a chance we can get an early Hanzo from them?
Possibly. Getting that, of course, global engage at level 20, and if not, just global stun to set up for your team if you're a little late to the fight could be fantastic. If that's what they want to pick up earlier on in terms of damage. If not, Phoenix still available, and so is Hammer. Surprise, no surprise about the Urel, but a Sergeant Hammer coming out, great zoning potential for the objective.
Leftovers have now to think about their offlaner, what they really want to take here, if they want to go into Blaze or if they want to have Dahaka. If they have a preference of either or, they should take it now, because Dignitas is very likely to ban one of them out. Especially the global is something that's really tempting here. So Dahaka could potentially be banned by Dignitas if Leftovers doesn't take it. There we have it. And we have actually Phoenix taken over the support that I personally expected to be picked up by Leftovers here. So that it's not going to be banned out or picked away.
Expecting the prioritization on deck, and this means Dignitas can now ban it out or pick it themselves, as they are first pick after the ban phase. So they can really put some prioritization onto supports by either banning Decker, picking the Uther or Stukov, whichever they prefer with their current composition, or just leaving whichever one they don't, just leaving support bans entirely and just picking whichever one they want first.
They have elected to ban out Hanzo. They don't want to give them the chance to have a boss race or even grab those whenever they have the chance. Also, the poke post-16 is actually very annoying around the tributes, and Sergeant Hammer, if she's nice and plates down in a team fight.
Yeah, there's a lot of walls on this map. Almost the entirety of the objectives are surrounded in very easy to land scatter arrow positions. So so it makes a lot of sense to remove that. Speaking of makes sense to remove, Garrosh is so punishing to any kind of positional mistakes, and Phoenix, if he's able to lock down Phoenix long enough, the teleport can be useless if you get taunted.
And right now, with Garrosh being banned, it's again likely that Dignitas is heading into Johanna.
Yeah.
We've seen that several times now. It's great for the wave clear and also adds a protective layers for that Sergeant Hammer composition that they're drafting here. Even seeing Genji, the potential in the backline, and there's the play now for the support. So with Deckard not being banned out, but the priority given to Hanzo, we now see Deckard still taken away. But that is definitely something that Leftovers expected. At this point, when you allow them to head into the second ban phase and you're not picking your support, if you're already known to be this strong with Deckard Cain, then you know he's going to be either banned or picked away from you.
So do you go Stukov here? If you go Stukov, I feel like you need a little bit more damage. Ooh,
Out
come up here.
Tracer. It's a classic DAB on Tracer. With that kind of composite, with that kind of damage behind you, then I personally kind of believe in Santa Claus with that. It's the question of what Dignitas are going to be bringing out themselves.
You have weird criteria on that.
Yeah, you do.
Tracer's good, dude.
We still appreciate you. Don't worry.
Yeah. We love you.
I'm not used to Tracer being so late in the draft, but there she is, popping up, looking to get a little damage there. And someone else might believe in Santa Claus, actually. Stitches comes out for the 5th pick, and this is a JBL special.
That it is, and they have a quite low amount of lockdown other than Deckard Cain, which is one of the harder combos to land, but if you can land it, one of the more effective ones to follow up on a Stitches hook. After that, of course, you're putting them into hammer range, which means it's going to be much harder for them to run away, and Genji is a fantastic finisher, and there's some pretty squishy targets in there.
Yeah, and it's also really great into the late game, because once level 16 hits and you have Pulverize and everything online for Stitches, assuming a slam build here, you can really start controlling Phoenix and Tracer a lot more easily, and giving the opportunities to Genji that you just mentioned.
Looking to see how Stitch is going to be able to sit and play defensive. Hooks on Phoenix into a Deckard Cain root could be a dead target as well with the BFG follow-up. Lots of control here from JPL on Stitch. Let's go ahead and go to game number 4 in this series. Over to Gilly and Jayhow.
We are one game away from a Dignitas win here at the HGC Western Clash. Jayhow, you think Leftovers can bring it back?
Ooh, I don't know. This composition that we've seen from Dignitas has shown strong. If there is a hero that Snitch has had the least amount of success on, despite his high impact, is the Genji. So this might be something where DAB can find a counter.
There is the Sergeant Hammer, and it's going to be a hard one to get into, but with the Tracer, I love that Leftovers are putting their faith back into DAB's Tracer one more time. So let's get into the game, Game 4 of the Grand Finals.
What very may be the last game of this tournament. Dignitas will try and send it home. JPL will be on the front line on the Stitches. Wubby on the Urel. Of course, Poik, he'll be on the Sergeant Hammer. Snitch on Genji. Zelia on the Deckard. Give it up for Dignitas.
And repping the Team Freedom sprays, Podyboss playing Dahaka. DAB back on Tracer. Linked gonna be on Malfurion this time. Blakitney playing Phoenix. And finally, leading the charge is Mopsio on his Murden. Let's hear it for the Leftovers.
Well, we heard from Caldor question whether we would get the slam build or not. So far, not so much. It doesn't always require it to be at level 1. Instead, going chew your food, so making sure to heal for percentage of his health, 10% of his max health. So it is something that he can play around and with as Mopsio moves directly in to try and deal with the Sergeant Hammer, but eats quite a bit of damage on his way in.
That's all right. Trait value.
Trait value.
He will heal right back up. Look at Dahaka stock. Mopsio jumps in to get the start from that Storm Bolt with Dahaka coming in. First blood for the Leftovers.
Okay.
I see you.
Leftovers making a statement. You're not just going to siege up here forever. Snitch trying to get away. Should have a swift strike. Does get out of danger. Will rotate down in the gank squad, I imagine. Phoenix and Dahaka do so incredibly well, Gilly, at controlling lanes, and Phoenix actually does a pretty decent job against a Urel. So look for the either gank squad or camp squad in this instance for Leftovers, as they're going to get their respective camp. Dignitas going to grab Siege Giants of their own.
Yeah, having that double solo laner lets Leftovers make plays like that as long as they're all coordinating when stock is up and where Potiboss is going to be going and what is going to be necessary to help him out. Having them across this large battleground with Dahaka in one, Phoenix in the other, and then having their rotations come in from Linked and DAB, maybe with Muradin as things get cleared out from the mid. Similarly though, Dignitas are sort of doing the same. They have Urel who will be holding the solo lane, but they're hoping that they can get some tri-lane damage done, but especially just keeping Decker Kane with Sergeant Hammer, and then if they can bring Genji up, keep the siege going to start getting ahead in experience.
Well, we've seen strategies like this before with Sergeant Hammer comps where it's a matter of just getting marginal leads at the top lane, just so eventually you can rotate towards that bottom lane and start prepping your boss lane and things of that nature. The roots go down. No need in using that unstoppable just yet, as there hasn't been a whole lot to accomplish, but Blakitny, there's going to be the warp hammer just late there by Wubby. Blakitny, he's going to, he contemplated hearthing back, but he has the well tap. He's going to remain in that bot lane.
Giants versus Giants. DAB with the pulse bomb whittling those down in the top. The bottom is where the first tribute is going to spawn, and that'll be in 30 seconds. So it's important for Leftovers to get this cleared out and then figure out what is to be done if that Sergeant Hammer is going to try to keep sieging or if everyone is going to make their way down to the tribute. Cursed Hollow is such a volatile map, and if a team can start to get those kind of incremental leads in advantage, get their boss from that, and then start getting even more structures down, and especially if they get a curse with the boss at the same time, you can see a game end, and you often do see games end on the second boss now.
See if they can make that happen. Zelia started to channel and then realized he should probably back away as eyes on Muradin and Tracer. Not exactly there, but they have eyes on Blakitny. Receives some healing, does get the roots, is able to warp out for now. Mopsio and team starting to make their way in, but Tracer matching Genji in the mid lane. Both teams trying to get level 7. DAB hits him with the spray, perfectly timed on that pulse bomb. Snitch about a half second too early on that deflect. Now Leftovers taking control.
Look for that to be changed and that to be a constant 1v1 between the Genji and Tracer. This gives a power play to Leftovers for the moment, though Tracer hasn't come down to the tribute fight as of yet, starting to make sure that they have the soak still, and she will start to transition now into, wants to get 7 if they can for this, knowing that with those respawn timers so low and Genji having a lot of mobility, he's going to be coming back in shortly, but there is 7 for the Leftovers.
They do have that advantage, but I don't think they can afford to use that Brush Stalker unless they know they have a kill. And given the distance, the safety for Dignitas, if this was one spot over, then maybe they could start making these plays. But Dignitas, they have a tremendous amount of poke damage. We did not see that extra slam size at level 1, so JPL does have to step together somewhat further than he's used to, but that did get an interrupt, and now we are in this staggered period as we speak.
But having Tenderizer for the auto attack slows can help try to keep someone like a Tracer off of the rest of his team, especially that of Zelia and Sergeant Hammer. Just keeps more control in the hands or the shovel and bucket of that Stitches.
Not the Santa-ish skin, the winter skin, but instead, we are at the 5-minute mark, so bosses have spawned. Those will take place later, as right now this fight over the tribute has lasted for what feels like an eternity. Remember, this spawns at 3 minutes in.
Right.
We're sitting at 5 minutes already, and nobody's even got a half a channel so far.
Well, that showed Malfurion was up, pulse bomb down. Dignitas get aggressive and put some damage in to Mopsio. Link starts the channel versus Stitches, gets hooked in, and the follow-up roots there. Mopsio circles back around. And still, this fight, this 3v3 rages on.
Yeah, there's just no reason yet for, hold on a second, there's no reason yet for Dahaka to come in. That top fort has already been peppered down. How long Leftovers decides to stay here is quite the question mark. They are a scaling comp around the Tracer, so the later this gets, the stronger she gets. We'll see if DAB can maximize that effort.
Mopsio almost goes down, root behind him. Wubby comes in, but Snitch is the one who brings him down. That's the first kill for Dignitas in this game. Still don't see Potiboss coming in. Now the stock in, but Blakitny's being chased down by Snitch. DAB misses the pulse bomb to hit. Dignitas staying strong around this tribute.
DAB just looking for an opportunity. Instead, level 10s are picked up. Bile is going to be there. Podyboss just trying to buy time for the rest of his team to get away. Ardent Defender was used. Podyboss has that essence, but now he's going to get knocked back. He's going to be a casualty that will fall shortly. And the entire time, Gilly, as the sprays go down, the tribute's about to be picked up. This top lane annihilated by Poik.
That strategic idea of keeping Sergeant Hammer top, having to keep Dahaka there, kept one frontliner away from Leftovers being able to come in and get the fight. They don't get those early game fights with the Tracer the way that they would like because Sergeant Hammer is there, and she was untouched because Tracer felt like she had to stay in the mid because Genji was there too. We had the 1v1 there, but because of that team, Dignitas got 10 thanks to that fort, and that's when we saw them really be able to get even further kills. I already had a couple from that, or one at least, but getting a whole lot more, a level lead, bruisers, and finally the first tribute.
Next tribute will be at the top right. See if Leftovers tries to keep an eye on that boss. They have eyes on several members as they start to pass through for Dignitas. Mopsio trying to find some way to jump in. Zelia hanging out in the bush. They don't have eyes on him. But the minute DAB steps forward, they're going to walk back. But now with Sergeant Hammer in this camp, Gilly, Dignitas looking to siege up in this mid lane.
There is a good camp that keeps Urel in the bottom lane for the moment, but that bruiser camp with Sergeant Hammer here, as long as the protection is around for Poik and having now everything that you need, like Lornado from Deckard Cain, the protection will be there, and of course the Putrid Bile. And there comes the Lornado too, throwing back Mopsio, but all the disengage necessary for Dignitas to get out of the engage. This initial engage from Leftovers.
Hook just missing, and now we're going to see Snitch make his way down. He'll look for an opportunity. He eats some damage, uses that agility out. DAB in pursuit. Still has that Swift Strike and that deflect. Now the heals come in. Zelia keeping him alive. Snitch just trying to trade out. As a Genji player, you cannot afford to use it, but Podyboss, he gets hooked in.
Deflect was used, and there is a pulse bomb available. Mopsio jumps in, hoping to get that kill on Snitch, but he dives out. Purification Salvo starts to gun down along with the isolation, but it's not enough, and Ardent Defender is there for Urel, staying strong as she jumps out.
Now we're going to see,
Hook.
There's another hook. Blakitny, does he get out alive? He does not, and that is going to be the first takedown of this fight. Mopsio going in. JPL still surviving on the front line. Mopsio looking to retreat as the hammer hits the Lornado, unable to get it locked in, but the root comes in. Link somehow survives, and DAB in pursuit. He does not get traded out. The X strike, able to keep Snitch alive. Playmaker right there.
Pure baits. It's masterful by Team Dignitas. Now 5 kills to 2 with a 13 level lead. Not 13 levels lead, but 1 level lead to 13. And Dignitas rotates down to start their boss. 2 tributes. And working on their boss, Leftovers, starting to get back out, but just now getting Tracer back, working on getting back some of their heroic abilities. There's nothing to be done about Dignitas getting this boss, J-How.
Well, you made a good point earlier, and right now you can look at the clock. These bosses, 5-minute spawns, 9.5 minutes in when this boss is picked up. This should be enough with a Sergeant Hammer behind it. Well, they're actually just going to go up. They have Curse available, excuse me. But that will start to move down in that. If they get the keep wall, then in 5 minutes, look for them to cycle back for another boss to try and end the game. Right now, Dignitas zoning them out, 13 in all. They're going to try and get curse point and see if they can maximize their efforts.
Well, the nice thing is the tribute's all the way up, so it would take time to rotate back down, and those rotations may be slowed by the camp here. Leftovers pushing along with that camp are not in position as of yet to stop the channel of this tribute. They're, in fact, going to give the tribute to Zelia and the rest of Dignitas, keeping Dahaka in the bottom and keeping an eye on this other boss. Dignitas get a curse.
DAB, he's going to go ahead and use the Pulse Bomb, get some percentage-based damage post-level 10, but the rest of Leftovers might be trapped. Mopsio trying to walk away. We'll continue to keep an eye on that boss as it goes in, because Podyboss made an excellent play. Sometimes if you are a Dahaka player, you do not focus the boss in that instance. You go behind, you clear the minions. The minions will do more over time in that situation, so making the plays, minimizing that damage, but now Dignitas has their focus here in the top lane.
2 forts down for Leftovers. Dignitas hoping to open up this battleground even further. No boss was taken by Leftovers, which means it is still up for grabs for Team Dignitas. And ahead of that, they put Poik and this Sergeant Hammer on the keep. This curse lasting for 20 more seconds. Leftovers have to get in there if they don't want to lose this keep.
Putrid Bile is out. Look for Poik to potentially pull the trigger, but we have the salvo in return. It does do some damage, but the health bars of Dignitas are very healthy, almost non-existent is that damage. Hook just gonna miss. DAB got the pulse bomb. Mopsio goes in. Dignitas looking for more as the next round of minions come in, but the curse has expired. Link trying to survive.
X-Strike pushes or gets Snitch back. Lornado almost caught Linked, but he does make it out of there. The keep lives, it survives. But Leftovers are all showing up at that fight because they wanted to keep that keep alive, which meant they are not protecting other structures, not getting the soak, and Team Dignitas are just about to 16.
The isolation hits. There's going to be the stun. Decker the first to fall. Pody Boss and team, they're still looking for, can we get that feeding frenzy? He does. There's going to be another drag. That's going to be JPL falling. And just like that, 2 members of Dignitas go down.
That was such a necessary play and rotation from Leftovers to get that fight before Dig were 16, because this boss had not been taken when Dignitas got their own boss, and that keep was low. With 16 and a boss on that, that would have been such a problem for Leftovers, but because of this play, they hang on in this game and in the grand finals.
Wubby making a very good play, getting the Siege Giants to help defend against that boss, which will be pushing, and he's delaying the cap there to make sure and get the maximum amount of value. You want to get those Siege Giants to basically siege up behind that keep or around that keep and make sure they don't take unnecessary damage or move past the boss as he goes forward. So Wubby showing that smart play, always making the small moves. A lot of people know that, but it's just fun to always see there's no mistakes, no hiccups in those types of plays. But for Leftovers, they're still fighting their way back. The good news for them, no tributes on either side of this while they work towards 16.
Well, Dignitas are not going to let that boss stop them from pushing their 16 advantage in some way. They keep Snitch in the top, knowing that they still have a healthy fort to help with the defense of that boss, and the rest of them will work on keep towers in the mid along with the bruiser camp, furthering their lead, taking out more structures. Mopsio flanks from the side. Poik thrusters away. Pody Boss goes even further from the side in a flank with an isolation.
Stitches ended up eating that. He knew what he was doing, but there's going to be the roots. There's going to be the lockdown, but the Lornado buying space, buying time, as well as that Putrid Bile. There's going to be the fishing hook. Can he get out alive? Tranquility's used. There's going to be the BFG, unable to lock in. And now we have the salvo just trying to buy space as Leftovers looking to regroup. Still not 16.
They healed back up on the
Tranquility,
the hook, but they've used a lot of their abilities, and that fishing hook has already nearly cost a life of Blakitny, something that Leftovers cannot afford. Next tribute spawning down in the bottom next to that boss in 42 seconds, but Leftovers are about to 16.
They will have to, at times, live in the danger zone on the side of Dignitas to make sure that boss does not get picked up. You can rest assured that Dahaka will likely be living in that top lane because he has that global to keep that in, making sure that they don't lose any very crucial experience at this stage of the game. He can brush Stalker in on a moment's notice to try and turn a fight. Pody Boss has made plays all tournament long. He will look to continue to make even more, but Dignitas, they're going to take a very patient approach. The next tribute on more towards their side. There's going to be a hook in. That's going to be on Mopsio.
Yeah, the root was already down. That was so brilliant to see that synergy, but Mopsio doing his thing of trying to stay in if he can for the fight so that they can use him as bait so the fight can go on and they can get kills. Blakitny, though, gets hooked in and brought down.
You could see that Snitch had used his deflect, ended up having to use the X-Strike to make sure and wear that pulse bomb, and it would disappear when he went in the air. So he realized he got in a bad situation. DAB tried to make a play, but the counter play by Snitch just too much. And then, of course, Blakitny falling has opened the door wide open for Dignitas to grab this boss and start to look at taking a keep in this spot lane and maybe more. And Leftovers realizes that they come in for a defense of a potential 4v5.
4v5 with Pody Boss starting off low, starts to heal back up, gets Dignitas off the point. DAB avoids the root, but does not avoid the hook. Uses recall and makes it out to the safety of Tranquility. Now they're trying to isolation on Genji is huge. It gets the kill.
That's going to be the play. Mopsio dives in deep instantly. He's going in, but Linked, he's in a bad spot as he gets pulled in. But there's going to be the drag. That's going to be a takedown onto Deckard, so no more healing. Putrid Bile slowing down several members. DAB gets the pulse bomb out. JPL innocent, but another hook lands here for Pody Boss as they are trying to turn this play. Trait value about to register for Mopsio as he's looking to dive back in.
And now Blakitny's back in action. He comes in. Poik making it away, getting further away with a helping hand from JPL. Leftovers do what they need, and that stopped Team Dignitas from getting this boss. Leftovers have been put through the ringer this whole game from Team Dignitas, but they are hanging on by a thread.
Leftovers finally looking to pick up their first tribute. It looks to be easy this go around. They're still hanging around in terms of XP in this fight. They are fighting valiantly. Podyboss landing drag after drag, the isolation to help set up that initial kill, but it is teamwork all the way for this team. And as I said, they will have to be keeping an eye on that boss Murd and constantly going over and check. You can always see somebody on that minimap that will be on around the clock watch for that, potentially looking for kills in between.
The best news for Leftovers is that they do have Podyboss on Dahaka because he can keep pushing. He has gotten them back in this game in experience purely because he is being patient with those stocks. Dignitas starting to gravitate around that boss, keeping their bruisers in the mid to hopefully push that out. Mopsio.
Well, I think he got interrupted on the dwarf talk. Avatar's out. He's trying to get a healing stack. Tranquility's going to be there. Is it enough? It is not going to be enough. That's going to be the first of all. There's going to be the hook that's laid. Instant switch strike behind that. The final cut confirming the kill. And now one wasn't enough, but two should be enough for Dignitas to take this boss and look for that march in the bot lane.
Dignitas may have just slashed through not just two of Leftovers, but Leftovers' dreams in this grand finals. With those two kills, they have all the space necessary to take down this boss. Podyboss in the top keeps them in experience, keeps them in the race to Storm Talent. And the good news for Leftovers is they still have a keep in that bottom lane. But 25 seconds still remain until all of Leftovers are here for this defense.
These hooks have been the turning point in all of these fights. Getting these picks, the control that was Leftovers starts to regain. The hooks continue to change the narrative. Leftovers, they need to hearth back soon because the siege damage before the boss gets there will be enough. You know they want 20. 20 will be here when Dignitas takes down this keep, but there's no defense currently, and this boss will walk forward and look for the core. Dignitas might be looking to end it right here, right now, as Leftovers, this might be their last stand here at the Western Clash.
Podyboss starting to stalk in deep in the lines of Dignitas. Hook pulls in Blakitny, no 20, no Unconquered Spirit, and he is obliterated.
Now we're going in. Pulse Bomb's going to land on Azalea, but he is tanky in the backline. He survives. The boss on the core. Link trying to stay alive. Leftovers fighting desperately here, trying to hold on as the shields starting to fall on the core of Dignitas, or on Leftovers.
Mopsio making himself a target so the DAB and the rest can clear out that boss, but it's not to be had. It's still healthy, and it's still on the core of the Leftovers. Team Dignitas move forward. They have not dropped a single game in this tournament, and they will continue to do so as Dignitas become your Western Clash champions.
Rare air for Dignitas as they went through a tournament, as you said, without dropping a map, and they did so in emphatic fashion. They dominated what seemed to be every step of the way. Leftovers gave them what was arguably their toughest test, but Dignitas is your Western Clash champions, and rightfully so.
J-Hal, I'm gonna sell it to you straight. That was not the hype grand finals that we were hoping for, maybe like the MSB, but that is a testament to this team right here. A team that feels like is in a league of their own. A team that has outscaled, outclassed, outperformed every other team here at the Western Clash from minute one. Your Western Clash champions, Team Dignitas.
It just feels like every member of this team somehow is the best in their role. Everybody down the line. Wubby, the best arguably in the world. Hoik showing his way into dominance. JPL, the tank. Snitch, we know him, the face of this team. And then Zalia, who apparently doesn't want that trophy for now. We know what's happened before, but this team of all-stars is a championship team if I've ever seen one.
And I say that they're in a league of their own. But there is still one team, one head boss that has remained in their league. J-Hal, Gen.G, no matter who they lose to, continues to thwart Team Dignitas. And it feels like ever since GCWC at the end of last year, Team Dignitas has been building toward one moment, and that's the grand finals at BlizzCon versus Gen G. You know they want to face them there. You know they want that rematch. And man, if we get that rematch in the grand finals of BlizzCon, what a story for Heroes that would be.
Well, they're well on their way, only dropping 2 losses up until this point in Phase 2, not dropping a single game here at the Western Clash. It's just been a phenomenal ride so far. They still have another part to go before they do continue their chase towards their BlizzCon dreams. But it has been a ride so far. And, you know, shout-outs to the Leftovers in all of this, winning over the hearts of many in this tournament, coming in as the #4 seed out of Europe. It's just been so fantastic, but they ran into this top-tier team of Dignitas. It's just been great to watch.
And Dig doesn't only claim another win, another title for themselves today, but a win for all of Europe HGC, because with this win, they secure a 3rd spot for a team at the HGC Finals at BlizzCon. We got to see what that meant for Europe at the mid-season brawl, and I know the rest of Europe was very happy to see that not only Dignitas, but Leftovers made it to the finals for that reason.
It just seems so familiar when you see a player like Wubby. He's constantly in the finals, but constantly holding trophies. That's what he does. In JPL, he's right there with him. Snitch along for the ride. The 2 newer, and at this point, they're not even that new, but we have Boyk and Zalia obviously making their way onto this team. It just starts to become more and more familiar as each of these tournaments we go through. They're undefeated with this roster at the Clashes. Western Clashes, I should say.
Yeah, that fully international event still eluding them. But like I said before, their discipline is purely because they know that they want more. This team has been striving for more, and they were so close at the MSB, and that hunger drives them to play at this level. Not dropping games at a Clash with the best from NA and EU here, it's insanely impressive.
Well, it's been great to watch, but it's going to be even better because we do have an interview with our victors of Team Dignitas as we send it back over to Trixie.
A magnificent tournament for Team Dignitas, not dropping a single map. They came into this tournament expecting to actually get a win, which was rare to hear from Team Dignitas. We actually got Snitch to say it, so Snitch, he came in, he dominated, he didn't drop a single map. How's it feel to actually put the goal of winning a series and a tournament and actually performing?
I mean, it feels amazing, but it all comes down to my amazing team, you know? We put so much work in every week, you know? Poik's putting confetti on my face right now. That's really cool to our team morale. We put so much time and effort in, honestly, and it feels really good to be rewarded with such a great tournament.
I mean, the grand finals, obviously we had some really strong matches. We also had a bit of a weird one. We had the Gazlo come out. Was there any shock with that popping up?
I mean, actually, I think we took it way too seriously. We were like, is there some sort of secret strat here? We were like, do we have to kill the turrets first? Like, are they going to force the heal cam?
Yeah.
It didn't really do anything, which was kind of disappointing. We were expecting some big grabber bomb play. Like, you know, we were worried. I'm not going to lie, we were worried.
That was the meanest I've ever heard you in an interview. They didn't do anything. I'm going to send you over to Tatju.
For starters, once again, a huge congratulations. So coming out from here, for starters, your net sights have to be set on BlizzCon, but before that, you're going to be heading back into League play. How do you think Leftovers are going to perform there, and are you going to reevaluate your matches against them?
Oh, I mean, I think if Leftovers can ride their momentum, they'll do amazing. They've obviously had an incredible tournament. I think, you know, honestly, I think Leftovers deserve a huge round of applause from the audience. You know, they've played phenomenally this tournament. I don't want to take anything away from them. Like, we may have been 4-0, but they played incredible this whole run.
And now to follow up on that too, BlizzCon. That is your next goal here. What is going to be your plans to prepare for this, and do you have any messages for Gen G?
I mean, Gen G already know we're coming, dude. They see this tournament, they're shaking, you know? The West is on the rise. We're definitely coming for BlizzCon. It's going to be our title. I'm going to promise you that now. We're going to keep putting all the work in. We have we're definitely not losing any motivation at all. We're full steam ahead, and we're coming for that trophy.
Mino Caldor, you got anything?
You say you're coming for the trophy, but I have a quick question about game number 1. Did you guys have a few flashbacks to the last couple of best-of-7s that you played when that happened?
It's the Mopsy away, you know? I'm thinking, oh, we're going to be here for like 6 games. It's going to go down to the wire. Yeah, we were I think our draft went a bit wonky. We all kind of agreed to that afterwards, but we played very, very confidently after level 10, I think. We were able to turn what looked pretty bad into a good round game. So I think after, you know, we settled the first one, and we kind of felt maybe we were like a little bit nervous, I don't know, but it felt fine after that.
After you guys got shut down in the 7th game again at the mid-season brawl, how hungry are you to make it to the BlizzCon finals?
I mean, we're very hungry. We lost by 1% to a Genji final cut. I don't think it can get any worse than that. So all we can do for now is win, as far as I'm concerned.
Looking forward to it.
Well, today you earned some money, you earned some prestige, but you also earned a 3rd slot for the rest of Europe. Anything you want to say to those guys that are going to be trying to compete for BlizzCon?
I mean, you know, if we have 3 slots, I don't know how you're going to deal with us, because clearly 2 is a lot. Like, Leftovers managed to take everyone, and they were the 4th seed. So if we've got 3 seeds from BlizzCon, I think the rest of the world better watch out.
Well, we are looking forward to BlizzCon 2018, and that'll be the next big tournament for this team. Obviously, online play will be next for Team Dignitas, but we will keep an eye out also for the Eastern Clash, which will be next week. Any last words before I call it a night?
Honestly, there's only one word, I think, for our fans, and that's wowee. Shout out to the Dig squad. Thank you guys all for watching. We'll be back in League play in a few weeks.
Wowee. All right. That is it for us here at the Western Clash. We hope you enjoyed your stay. Keep your eyes open for the Eastern Clash next week. But from us, this is it. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you in the Nexus.
He gets denied completely on the tornado. The thing is, he has 40 gems. He cannot get caught out. Blizzard Shield comes over. It's Malfurion 2. There's a condemn. Now they're trying to get away, but he's locked down.
Worst case scenario, are they still gonna fight? They're trying. The lightning breath comes out and the salvo is hitting 2. Poik is moving away here. We're seeing at the same time the boss already marching through Freedom, not losing anyone here yet, but they're trying to walk back, and Zagrag is already stopped and locked down. They want to kill it. He himself holds 30 gems. They can't lose them.
Daru at the same time, pushing everyone in. Now this is over here on the back left, and if he dies, he loses his souls, and there they are. We got a squishy Diablo here. Nazmus also locked down too, while JPL steps up. There's the track, 60 gems may have been lost. Team Freedom cannot step up to get them.
Lap here, because this one is going to get close. Once again, we're seeing the Symbiote coming in play, and Dignitas attempting to secure the position here. Lutano, it's all on him right now. It's all on Tracer, trying to dodge these attacks, being careful. Snitch and also Reyna are both looking for him. Whoopi is trying to get it, and he actually might. He gets the shots, and that's gonna be game to stay a while and listen from Celia is making it happen. They're thinking about it. They're thinking about it as we speak. They want to kill, and they get it. No, they don't.
He gets to the base, he's alive! But the Dragon Queen is up, the Impalers are still here!
Kerrigan is down.
Bad Benny turns around for Mopsio with Kerrigan down. If they get Mopsio too, this could be a turnaround! The clutch heals coming in here. Mopsio is running for his life right now with the Iron Skin. Bad Benny moves in, and that's the counter kill by Method. Good, Benny.
And Zero is trying to join the fight again, but he's so low right now, he can't do anything. He can maybe try and sneak a channel here, but they're going for the kills. Karsten is low. He's about to fall. Yes, we're seeing Mopsio trying to aim for the kill, but they get Nick first. He's down, so is Uther, the double kill. They're going for the triple Leftovers. They want to take this game, and they are so close. Mopsio survives at least for now, as we're seeing Tassada attacked in the back line.
Mopsio is down. Adiani taken out as Bad Benny is delaying as best he can. Athero might have tried to sneak this, but it's him versus the world. 3 versus 1. Athero gets blown up.
At best, they get 1, but now we're going to see if they can turn that, as there comes the Bless Shield. In comes the Salvo, the Lifebinder, not enough to keep Alex Strazo alive. So a perfect counter so far for Team Freedom.
A lovely front flank, but even still, there's a double kill as Leftovers turn this around, taking out Phoenix too. They're taking him down, dropping like flies. DAB deep in the lines of Team Freedom as he brings down Ural, and Zagrag, the lone wolf from Team Freedom, is brought down.
A couple of minor steps, but they do pick that up in time. Isolation was used, but there's going to be the cleanse.
One minor step would have been the difference of Zagrag getting on the point in time, but a flip over Podyboss, everyone piling in for the party, and it's not working out for Freedom. No, not at all with those 2 kills. The body blocks, Nazmus, torpedo dashes. But now 13 is here. here, and Wubby's coming in. Stormbolt hits, Dragon Darrow follows up DAB, and a whole heap of danger. DAB falls, Dignitas finds the kill. They need X-Strike drops down, and Polyboss is here.
Now we've got the Lightning Breath trying to lock down multiple members, but there's Greymane with the Divine Shield, focusing on Link. The old man somehow surviving, but not much longer. They do get the trade out onto Hanzo, but JPL and team are looking for more. The stun from Wubby comes in. A follow-up stun. There's the Pierce on the stun. Blakitny trying to hold Polyboss, unable to walk away. He's gonna, well, he'll be taken down in a moment, but Dignitas fighting back. Mopsio forced a Dwarf toss out. Ardent Defender has been used. Bunker down as well. We see the Explodium charges going around everywhere. Unable to do so. There's going to be another one that dropped. But members of Dignitas starting to drop. There's one. There's two. There's three. And now Dignitas starting to jump in, trying to make plays. Even Snitch getting in on the action with some Ripper Air, trying to make some plays.
Polyboss, mined back out.
Oh.
Knocked back in. Shoved back in. Taken down. Bruisers in the mid to hopefully push that out. Mopsio.
Well, I think he got interrupted on the Dwarf
He
toss.
did.
Avatar's out. He's trying to get a healing stack.
Tranquility.
Tranquility's going to be there. Is it enough? It is not going to be enough. That's going to be the first of all. There's going to be the hook that's like instant. Swift strike.